Calvin Castine in beautiful downtown Mooers, New York, on the steps of E.F. Drown Funeral Home. We're here for the annual Labor Day Parade. It's Labor Day, Monday, September 5th, 2005. And once again, the streets are packed. We parked up by the fire station today, just across from Dragoon's farm equipment. And took a walk down, and there are people all the way up and down, and when we drove in, there were a few gaps in between. It was just loaded with folks who've come to enjoy the parade, and hopefully they'll wander over to the grounds behind the fire station after and spend a little money, because that's the whole idea of all this, to make a little money for the fire department and the EMS squad.
47th Mooers Fire Department Annual Labor Day Parade and Fun-Filled Day. It is my pleasure and honor to be your announcer today, as it is a chance for me to give time back and to help out our volunteer fire department to raise money for equipment and supplies that are needed to save and protect our homes, businesses, and community. I'd like to extend a special thanks to our parade chairman, Albert Menard, assisted by Chris Boris. At this time, I'd like to announce our three judges. We have on this end Joanne Menard. She's a resident of Mooers Forks. Her husband is Jeff Menard, and she has three children, Jonathan, Janelle, and Jennifer. In the middle, we have Mrs. Joanna Orr. Her husband is Jack Orr, and they're residents also of Mooers. Joanna is the principal of Rouse's Point Elementary, which is part of the Northeastern Clinton Central School District. Our last judge is Chris Trombley. Chris is a Clinton County Deputy Coordinator and the Champlain Second Assistant Chief. He's also the past Chief of Champlain Fire Department. Chris has, his wife is Tammy, and he has a daughter named Katie and a son named Caleb. At this time, I'd like to introduce Reverend Al Johnson. He's going to give the invocation for the day.
Good morning. Could we be in an attitude of prayer? Creator God, directing with might your ongoing work of creation and recreation, we thank you for calling us to be co-workers with you in the care of the earth, our home. On this day, devoted to the dignity of useful work and careful, committed workers, we pray for many whose labors tend to be unsung, misunderstood, or recognized only grudgingly. We lift up in prayer political leaders of integrity who will follow their conscience rather than the polls, and other public servants in whose performance service is not a slogan but a way of being. We praise you for the pride and faithfulness of small business owners who against huge odds continue to run little shops where customers are treated as persons, and for corporate executives who care enough to keep the human touch all the way down the line. We give thanks, Father, for members of the helping professions, for physicians and lawyers, ministers and teachers, social workers, nurses, and others who demonstrate a genuine commitment to helping those least able to pay and most in need of help. Righteous God, we pray for all who are employed beneath their capacity and for less pay than they deserve, that they may be empowered in their struggle for equal opportunity and just compensation. We commend to your mercy those who cannot work because of illness or old age, or who feel useless and worthless. Help us to persuade them that in your sight, our worth is not determined by what we do for a living, but what we do with our lives, with your gift of love. Gracious God, especially at this time, we pray and give thanks for those who volunteer their time for others. Firemen and women and EMS workers here in Mooers community and throughout the country and the world. Hurricane Katrina has caused devastation for some of our sisters and brothers, and help all of us to respond to help in whatever ways we can. And finally, gracious God, enlighten our imagination that we may find in our workplace all sorts of opportunities for works of mercy and love. And teach us too, we pray, the nearly lost art of rest, that we may live to glorify you with our lives for your twin gifts of labor and leisure. In that spirit, may we enjoy this fine day and come together as community, uplifting each other, whether new friends or old acquaintances. In God's love, we ask and give thanks in his precious name. Amen.
Nice job by Al Johnson.
Thank you, Reverend.
Reminding us all that this is Labor Day. And
I'd like to introduce to you some of our North Country talent. We have with us Jim Sorrell from Champlain. He will be the host of the karaoke contest later on in the day up at the field grounds. But right now he's going to sing the national anthem for us. Thank you. Would you please stand for the national anthem?
and remove your hats.
Oh, say can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hail at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight for the ramparts we watch were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bomb bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. And oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave for the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Thank you, Jim. What a wonderful, wonderful job. As joyous as the weather that we've been provided with, but the fun just begins here. Just up the road, behind the fire station, there is a bustle of activity just waiting for all of you to enjoy. We have our ever-famous, delicious chicken barbecue dinner, along with our wonderful foods like hot dogs, hamburgers, fried bread dough, and cotton candy.
And led by Sheriff Gay, the parade, Sheriff Favreau, only about 3 decades old there. Sheriff Favreau, the parade is making its way around the bend. Looks like Jennifer's got a front row seat. Gonna fill up with her candy bag. She'll be grabbing candy today and giving it out at Halloween. We were in Port Henry yesterday for the parade honoring the exploits of Johnny Padres 50 years ago.
Heading up the parade today is our Clinton County Sheriff Dave Favreau.
Sheriff David Favreau leading the festivities here.
Also introducing the parade is our Mooers Fire Department Color Guard. Holding the New York State flag and the United States flag is Mike Menard and Marshall Zins. Mike Menard began his firefighting career as a junior fireman. It's a program that Mooers Fire Department started in order to get young people involved in the fire department. And if you're interested in such a thing, talk to some of the firemen about it, but it's really working out well. Next we have the Mooers Fire Department Unit number 252, the 1992 Chevy brush truck. Our driver today is Matt Gregory.
And look at this, holding a place of honor, all alone, almost all alone.
Folks, coming up next is a wonderful, wonderful display of a horse-drawn limo. They're Percheron horses, Molly and Roy, driven and owned
Jack and Margaret
by Steve
Dragoon.
Pratt of Shazy. Steve will do weddings, anything to make your occasion special. Just look up Steve if you need something special. Now, seeing as it's a special limo, obviously there's something special that is drawing, and we have with us our Grand Marshal of the Mooers Fire Department 47th Annual Labor Day Parade and 2005 Citizen of the Year, Jack Dragoon.
Jack Dragoon retiring this year after
Riding with Mr. Dragoon
3 or
is
4
his
decades
beautiful
of
wife,
service.
Margaret Dragoon, and their granddaughter,
whoever she is.
Serena. We are honored
Close-up
today
of Serena,
to present Mr. Jack Dragoon as Town of Mooers Fire Department's Citizen of the Year. Born in 1937 to a hard-working family business, Jack soon learned the ropes to become owner of Dragoon's Farm Machinery, which has been in business since 1953. Jack has always been willing to lend out his equipment whenever needed by the town and help in any other ways he can. Jack is married to the former Margaret Roberts and are the proud parents of 4 children, 6 grandchildren, and 4 great-grandchildren. He has always been very community-minded and supportive. Jack has been a member of the Mooers Fire Department for 50 years, serving as fire chief in 1960, 1961 to 65, and 1973 through 1975. Under Jack's leadership, the first new pumper trucks were purchased. For the past 15 years, he's also been one of the top 2 Labor Day ticket sellers. See Jack today to buy some tickets. Mr. Dragoon became town supervisor in 1976, and at the end of his final term, will have completed 30 years of service. In all those years, Jack Dragoon only missed 1 town board meeting.
30 years
Under his
town
leadership
supervisor.
in 1989, we saw the completion of the Watson Memorial Senior Housing Project, and in 1997, the town highway garage was built. In 1999, Jack was able to obtain grants through the office of the late Senator Ronald Stafford for improvements to the fire department addition and also for construction of the Town of Moore's office complex, which was also designed to be a disaster relief center. In the town's 2004 bicentennial year, Mr. Dragoon secured the funds so that a wonderful 3-day celebration could be successful and be enjoyed by all. Today, he continues to be a member of the United Methodist Church and Moore Senior Housing. Jack's interests also include bowling in the Fire Department League, playing cards, cooking, and fishing with his sons and grandsons. Now, in the twilight of his career and with his many, many accomplishments, we are all very proud to recognize Mr. Jack Dragoon as our Mooers Citizen of the Year. Congratulations, Jack.
All I gotta say is it's about time. Oh, a hug and a kiss. Johnny Menard making the presentation. Jack Dragoon heading off into the sunset. But he'll still be around and still be a big part of this community. Make no mistake about that.
Here we have, coming up, a a Kubota RTV donated by Dragoon's Farm Equipment. The RTV is being driven by Paul Hamilton. Tim Miller. Tim Miller is also the EMS captain. Behind that is the EMS Unit 257, and that's driven by Paul Hamilton.
Mooers units at the front part of the parade.
Following, we have Squad 253, driven by Aaron Manor, with
Jesse and Laurie.
Jeremy Asline
Jeremy and Laurie.
Laurie Dumas.
If I were driving in a parade, this is about the speed I'd drive. I'd be so afraid of a kid running in front of my wheels here.
This nice shiny red truck from Mooers Fire Department is the Pumper Taker 254, and this is driven by our very own Chief Ron Boyce with his two sons. Being a fire chief in a volunteer fire department takes a lot of time and commitment, and we certainly do appreciate all of our fire chiefs in the area. Pumper 259, driven by Todd Gunlaw. Folks, we now have our Mooers town officials. In this wagon, we have Area 1 Legislator Celine Paquette, Area 2 Legislator Sam Trombley, Councilman Rudy Miller, Councilman Harry Gagnon, Councilman Gene Bushy, Councilman Gerald LaValle. There should be two other people on here, Superintendent of Highway Dick Boris and Town Clerk Tax Collector Ruth Bratcher-Plossick, but they've been called away for family duty. And also, folks, there's an empty spot reserved in there for Jack Dragoon, our current town supervisor and citizen of the year.
That would be the big chair. There's the two missing officials, Dick Morris and Ruth Brassard-Plossick, are brother and sister, so it must be a family matter that taken them out of town.
We have the VFW Post 1418 and Ladies Auxiliary Float. Also included are the members of the Ralph J. Davison American Legion.
All right, VFW. Don Smith leading the salute.
Thank you.
Yes, thank you, VFW, veterans of foreign wars. They should be thanked often, not just for showing up in a parade,
Here's
but
the
for what they have
American
done.
Legion Post 769 and VFW Post 1418 Veterans Band.
With a couple of dignitaries in the back.
Look at this, folks, a 1931 Model A Ford driven by John Zerlo. Those in my age or so remember John as Jay-Z in high school. We also know him as our Clinton County Clerk. Riding with Mr. Zerlo is Rich Cantwell, our district attorney, and he's currently up for re-election. Oh, and some of us who know John a little more have actually seen him mucking out the horse stalls occasionally, too. He's just an all-around good guy.
Very good to see you. Thank you.
patrol cruiser. You see those are a common sight in the North Country. They're here to protect us also. Following behind is the State Police Rollover Demo Unit. Trooper Monty will be up at the grounds, and it'd be a very interesting thing to watch, so make sure you take time to see what this demonstration's all about. Maybe we can learn something and be safe.
Learn how to buckle your seatbelt.
Here's one of our
Hemmingsburg.
brother fire departments, Hemmingsburg Fire Department 2005 Freightliner Pumper Taker, driven by Danny Hadley. Hemmingsburg and Mooers work closely together. The border is international border. Can't stop this friendship or this camaraderie that goes on between them.
Quebec. Yeah, looks like we got some Boy Scouts here.
How do you get good, upstanding young men in the community? You start them out right. Here's the Mooers Altona Pack 58 Cub Scouts.
Wait a minute, there's the girls here. I was going to zoom in on the girl. There we go. There are girls riding on the Cub Scout float. Interlopers.
I'd like to introduce to you Andrew Wiley, the current candidate for district attorney.
It isn't edible, the kids don't want.
Prime Link is a common household name now, and we're into the 2005 computer world. Prime Link, this is a Prime Link service vehicle. Get hooked up with Prime Link's high-speed internet service. Long distance, telephones and telephone systems. 324.link. It's a local call.
It's like Bob Favreau driving that for some reason. Like they've been given rides with the Champlain Telephone Company truck because people are getting out of the cab over there. Free rides. Price of gas, they offer a little carpooling.
This is also a common thing we see up here in Mooers, Champlain, Rouse's Point, Mooers Sports, the Champlain Telephone Company. They honor and support the men and women that have served and continue to serve our country. The Champlain Telephone Company has provided telecommunication needs to the Northern Tier for over 100 years.
Back when I was a kid, we didn't call the operator, we called Central. And there's a Central right there, hard at work. Look out, that kid's got a good arm, as long as he doesn't fall off the wagon. I'll have a seatbelt on him. It's 1903. Oh, here they are. We can't escape them. They can't
Let's have
escape
a
them.
little fun, folks. Here he comes, the Swinging Sister Act. The modern-day North Country nuns have been swinging around the North Country since their first performance at the St. Anne's Bazaar last year. Since then, the North Country can't seem to get enough of them, asking them to perform in various parades, birthday parties, retirements, school lip syncs, talent shows, nursing homes, graduations, and many more. They were inspired by the 1992 movie Sister Act. The hit song, Dancing in the Streets, is our very own North Country Swinging Sisters, Martha Superior, Bev Lamberton, Pemberton, Sister Whoopi Diane Menard, Sister Paula Esline, Sister Laura Rock, Sister Diane LeBombard, Sister Kathy Phillips, Sister Lorraine Easter, and Sister Nancy Thompson. If you would like to book this fun-loving group, see one of the sisters for their business card.
Lorraine Easter. I wonder if that's Mary Ellen's daughter. Usually about 2 or 3 minutes to fall off the flatbed, but none of them fell off this time.
Thank you for that little bit of fun.
We cut off briefly.
The Katyville Fire Department, engine 136, a 1993 E1 top mount pumper. The driver is Jamie Favreau, and the chief of Katyville Fire Department is Chuck Costick.
Cut off briefly when they were introducing the Sister Act because we thought they were going to go into their long story about the movie, but they didn't. They just mentioned that they were finished first in the Rouse's Point Parade overall.
Ford is a well-known name in the North Country. We have a 2005 Mustang convertible driven by Jenna Van Leuven. Riding is Joy Van Leuven, Jessica Van Leuven, and Andrew Bayshard with Jordan Clark. 2005 Eddie Bauer edition, driven by Mary Beth Robert Schraders, follows that.
Well, now we know which car that the Jenna ended up getting. We've seen the commercial. Well, I wouldn't sit in the back of that truck. It's a good way to end up on your head.
They had those mixed up, of course, folks. I knew that. The middle is a 2005 F-250 Super Cab 4x4, driven by Gerald Roberts.
There's Gerald.
Have you driven a Ford lately? Owners Ron and Janet Roberts invite you to visit Riley Ford in Chazy, New York and check out all the new Ford models. Now we have the Girl Scouts. Mooers Sparks Girl Scouts are led by Lisa Rivers and Joan Guerin. Ann Perry and Nicole Hemingway of Brownie Troop 253, Lori Hunter and Meredith Smith, Junior Troop 276, Lisa Rivers and Leona Lapierre, Junior Troop 137, Rick Rivers and Cindy Maynard, Cadet Troop 210 and Senior Troop 232. We are in need of Daisy leaders and many more adult volunteers. Come share your knowledge and talent with our local girls. Just a few hours a month would mean so much, and the hugs and smiles you get in return are definitely worth it. Registration fee is only $10 for the whole year. Their meetings are on Thursday nights at St. Joseph's Church Hall at 6. Girl Scouting is open to all girls in kindergarten through grade 12. They'll be available if anyone is interested in more information or wants to register for Girl Scouts at Moore's Elementary Open House. They'll also have full registration night at St. Joseph's Church Hall from 6 to 7:30 on Thursday, September 15th. Call 236-5113 for more information. Join the Girl Scouts. You won't be disappointed. Thank you, girls and leaders.
A cup of coffee. Oh, some more Berry people standing up in back of a float. 4th degree Knights of Columbus. Got the flag backwards. On the flag should be hanging upright with the stars in the upper
Here we have
left-hand
the
corner.
Pope John 14th 4th degree assembly. Members from Champlain, Moores, Ellenburg, Rouse's Point, KFC councils. Gotta appreciate somebody who dresses in black in this kind of weather. It does it for us. Thank you very much, gentlemen.
Fine group, but they got to learn how to
Here's a cat of a different color. The Champlain
hang an American
Fire
flag.
Department, Unit 144, 1974 Hahn Pumper. The driver is Harvey LaFave.
They're not delivering
Thank
fuel.
Champlain Fire Department for helping out with traffic control today. Champlain Fire Department works side by side, shoulder to shoulder to Moore's Fire Department. They all work together to protect and help us.
That's
The
true.
next unit is 141, a 2005 KME pumper tanker.
Well, Emily Colby out there directing traffic at the end of the Hemingford Road.
Here's their Unit 142 brush truck driven by Walter LePan. It's a 2003 Chevrolet. Bruce Barcombe is the chief of Champlain Fire Department. We appreciate. Our next entry is a local business from Champlain. It's Champlain Peterbilt. Heading up their little lineup is a service van driven by Dale Goss.
Peterbilt.
The next is a red cabin chassis 357 Peterbilt. Folks, if you've been loyal parade watchers 3 years ago, you saw this young couple as starstruck teenagers. Last year we saw them as newly engaged couple. This year I'd like to present to you Mr. and Mrs. Angie Menard, newly married couple.
Wishful thinking. Wonder if it's any relation to Connie Menard, huh?
Next we have the gray 379 Peterbilt driven by Eric Monte and his beautiful wife. Oh, I'm sorry, that's his girlfriend. Don't tell his beautiful wife.
Maybe they'll have a baby next year.
And isn't that pretty, folks? Red 387. Andy calls it a round bubbly. And that's driven by Shane Brink.
My neighbor is driving a big truck.
And heading up their own little mini parade is the Peterbilt Parks van driven by Chipper Finette. Mooers Auto Repair, a local business. He's towing a 1932 Ford pickup, and seated right in that driver's seat, Jeff Morlock.
That ain't Jeff Morlock.
Oh no, that's not Jeff, that's Dellar Ducat. He's almost as old as that truck.
Haven't seen him since the Bluegrass Festival.
Dellar says there's only 2 years difference between him and the truck. You look a hell of a lot better than the truck does, Dellar. Lazy Days Campsite. Folks, if you want some rest and relaxation, go to Lazy Days Campsite, owned and operated by the Miller family. And guess where it's located? On Lazy Days Lane off the Miller Road. These folks know how to have fun and celebrate Labor Day.
Peru.
Fire trucks aren't red anymore, folks. They come in all different colors. This is Peru Fire Department Pumper Tanker 274, a 2002 American LaFrance. We know it as Big Blue. The driver is Lieutenant Kathleen Roach. The Fire Chief of Peru Fire Department, Courtney Tatro.
Oh, there comes Leon.
Hey, look at this, folks. The Jetsons meet the Flintstones. Old meets new. We have a 1020 McCormick tractor, over 90 years old, and it's towing a new Fandango well cleaning machine, and both of them are run by none other than LJ Leon Menard. Now that takes talent. He can run something 90 years old and something brand new. You see, Uncle Leon, if you have any problems with your well, he'll clean that well right out. Any taste, odor, bad residue, give Uncle Leon a call. He'll take care of you. Behind that, we have Janelle Menard driving one of the great Kubota lawn mowers. Hey, you gotta mow your lawn anyways. You might as well have fun doing it. We have another Cub Cadet ATV, kind of Regan Cushing is the driver. And then after that, we have Riley Cushing on another Cub with a little wagon. That'll get some work done. And then there's Jennifer Menard. She knows how to handle that lawnmower because she's been on the farm. And then there's Johnny Boy! Yeah!
Calm down.
Bert Doopy! He's also driving for Dragoons. Now, is that some handy equipment to check out? Hey, boys and girls, look at this. Now, don't forget, the North Country is a farming community. How about that? You see that out in the fields? You got to respect the farmer that can run and buy one of those. Jack Dragoon's the dealer to see. Hey, Happy Haven Farm! There's Mark Williams, the world's smallest farmer. And in the back is his two best friends, Sam Zins and his cousin, Chrissy Berry. And notice on the side,
we're looking the other way. We don't condone that kind of stuff.
We have Rouse's Point Fire Department. Their chief is Brian Pelkey.
Rouse's Point Fire Department.
Rouse's Point is a nearby fire department. Hey, folks, look at this. This is the answer to the high gas prices. Mandy Castine riding Amigo, and look at that. This is thunder and lightning.
Thunder and lightning. A lot of thunder and a little bit of lightning.
Here you have Sample Lawn and Garden, their local business in Chazy. This is a 1552 Massey Ferguson compact tractor with a Heatmore outdoor furnace. I'd like to introduce to you Troop Number 37 Boy Scouts, their troop leader, Jamie Carnes. Thank you, gentlemen.
Ready to
You don't
stall
see too
there.
many of these around. A 1985 El Camino, owned by Sam Fairchild. Very, very nice condition.
Ready to
And
stall.
behind that, you're going to see a 1961 Ford F100 unibody pickup.
El Camino.
This is also owned by Sam Fairchild. They'd like to recognize the celebration of the 200th anniversary of the Chazy Presbyterian Church. I'm just a dumb girl, but I'm thinking the unibody means that the cab and the box aren't separate. They seem to be all one together. Is that, all right. Strike one up for the dumb girl. Of the Elgin District RCMP Division C Pipe Band, the bagpipers, folks. Sit back and enjoy the music.
Roberts, making sure everything goes on as scheduled.
Now we have the Chazy Fire Department, engine 152 Pierce, pump for tanker. Driver, Todd Carpenter. We'd like to make note that the chief of Chazy Fire Department is Mike Cahoon.
Bobby Anderson riding shotgun.
Here's a local business, folks, Snides Custom Storage Shed. Don't leave your lawnmower out in the rain, and no sense in putting one of them ugly metal things up when you can add charm and beauty to your property by this rustic, well-built storage shed. Put your lawnmowers in there, your garden supplies, we have now is a perfect example of the natural beauty that we can grow in the North Country. Two of our wholesome young ladies that are riding their horses, which is a favorite pastime in the North Country. This is Nicole and Karen Blow. Nicole is riding a registered Morgan horse, Shady Lady, and Karen is riding a registered Arab Khan. Karen and Nicole like to do team penning, trail riding, and showing.
And the horses like to leave souvenirs on the road. Oh, David.
And coming up the end is Dave Gay. Dave is riding Impress, who's a registered quarter horse. Dave also does team penning. He owns a nice little horse farm on Route 11. And it's not unknown Dave to be trailing behind two beautiful women either. This is Neil Miller riding a wonderful little garden tractor with a wagon. He looks like a farmer to be.
With his transistor radio and a thermos. Yeah. Hey, I think Chris Trombley's truck is on fire here.
1944 International Buffalo Fire Truck. That's owned by our very own Chris Trombley, who's one of our judges today. The driver is John Fillion, the co-pilot, John Fillion Sr. I'd like to add that John Fillion Sr. is head commissioner of the Champlain Fire District. Very nice, very nice. Here's a nice display, folks, of days gone by. Porky McNeil on his horse and buggy. Aren't they nice?
A little buckboard, huh? Looks like the kind of wagon my father used to shovel manure out of. When the horses
Francis
would pull it.
McNeil follows behind with his antique, beautiful car, well kept up, well maintained. It's a 68 Impala. Uh-oh, for sale, but better way to advertise. See Francis McNeil if you'd like to own that beauty.
We're still coming around the corner.
Rescue Hose number 5, they're present at all major structure fires in the area. Work side by side with all of the fire departments. The chief of Rescue Hose number 5 is Keith Matot. Smith & Sons is a well-known business in the North Country. The van is driven by Nate. Oil heats best. Behind that is their tanker truck, driven by Bob Keddy, with his co-pilot, Terry Garceau. Terry keeps them fellas down there right on the ball. Now here's something you don't see very often in the North Country, but it's going to probably become a more familiar sight. We have El Nino alpacas, owned by the Davenport family right here on Route 22 in Mooers. The two that have joined us for the parade today are called Alex and Blaze. Alpacas are native of South America, and they're used for their lustrous fleece and loved for their gentle temperament.
And they make a good feast, too.
With their individual personalities, you'll be able to see how the love for these animals will grow. They're going to be up at the grounds, so go to meet the alpacas and feel them and see what the Davenports find them to be so interesting. Thank you very much for joining us, Alex and Blaze.
Alpacas. South Plattsburgh Fire Department.
The driver is Wally Day.
323.
And the chief is Eric Day. It's a family affair at South Plattsburgh.
Good day.
It's father and son. When you can see 2 generations and 3 generations in a fire department, you know that you've got some...
Yeah. The way I would have put it.
Eric is also known as Clinton County Car 1. You have some experience when you get 2 and 3 generations in a fire department. We really appreciate that, folks. Here we have Jim Hummel in another beautiful antique car, a 1968 Fury 3. This, folks, is known as Charlie's car. You're going to have to catch up with Mr. Hummel to find out the story behind that. I'm sure it's very interesting. Isn't that a beautiful, well-kept, well-maintained car? They don't build them like that anymore.
Belongs to Uncle Charlie.
Morrisonville Fire Department has joined us today.
They found Mooers. Mooers Forks, they're not quite sure of.
261, driven by Buddy Maggie. They spent some time polishing and shining that baby up for the parade today, and we certainly do appreciate it. It would be a Labor Day parade without fire trucks. Following behind would be their brush truck, 264. That's driven by Steve Brown, the fire chief of Morrisonville Fire Department.
Polished up enough you can see yourself in the reflection here. That's not me though. That's not me, that's not my pacifier. That's this fella right here.
You won't see this running down the Northway on your way to Plattsburgh. It's a 1926 Studebaker sedan. Unfortunately, you will see the fella inside around the North Country. That's Bob Dragoon, our very own Bob, driving a 1926 Studebaker sedan. Nice car, Bob.
Have some water.
It's a fire truck, totally different than anything we've seen. The U.S. Army Pierce fire truck, and the driver is Mike Mills.
Mike Mills from around the corner.
Who says kids sit in front of the TV and computer all the time? This is Skate Team MATA. Matt Bond, Mike Bell, James Gills, and Darren Poisson.
Where's their safety pads? The helmets. Outback Riders.
The Outback Riders are a family service-oriented club, and that includes children, obviously. Look at the beautiful smiling faces. Always looking for new members. They presently have 285 members of all ages, and they go on many enjoyable rides on designated trails throughout the summer. What a wonderful way to enjoy our beautiful North Country.
Driving through the Horseman R. That's always fun too. Frank went right through it. Don't spin your tires. Says save over $7,000. When I save $7,000 on a car, I've saved 2/3 of the price that I'm going to pay.
Four wheels, but it's certainly not a four-wheeler. Parker Chevrolet owns this, driven by Courtney Trombley, that's a Chevy SS.
Or known as a... There's more horses. Oh, I haven't got enough.
Here's two beautiful horses. They're owned by Vicky Drown. Vicky's on Wheeler Dude, and Stephanie Rabideau is on Jedi.
Return of the
Horse
Jedi.
dancing for us. Very nice. Decked out in red, white, and blue. Allenburg Fire Department has joined us today with engine 214. Our driver is Jamie Manor, and the chief of Allenburg Fire Department is Dick Manor.
Ellenburg Depot, that is. There are two Ellenburg Fire Departments, the Depot and Ellenburg Center. This is the Depot. And West Shazy.
West Shazy follows an engine 331. The driver is Dave Lucia, and the chief is Tony Galili.
Super Dave Lucia behind the wheel.
And Ralph Misek comes along with a 1962 Dodge GT Lanford. Isn't that a nice car?
Ralph.
It's got some specs on the windows and the side. Hopefully he'll
That's
be up
Rudolph
the grounds
Misek.
and we can really check it out up close.
Left his 68 wagon at home, Rudy Misek.
Line Mallon's here with number 247, their brush truck. Thank you very much, Line Mallon. And how about this? A 1964 F100 driven by Fran Bushy of Shazy.
Fran Bushy with his custom cab.
Followed up by a nice, beautiful purple Ford T-Bucket 1923 Street Rod by Don Alberto.
Don Alberto with his street rod and the caboose of the parade, Dragoon's Big Country here.
Thank you very much for coming to our parade, folks. Let's head up the road a little bit and have some more fun for the day.
There you have it, the 2005 version of the Mooers Labor Day Parade celebration here. Reggie enjoyed it. So did the Thompson family. So thanks for watching. I'll head down to the field at the fire station and spend some money. Hometown Cable. This is one of many parades we have covered this year. We've been to Moira and Moriah and Lewis and Essex and Plattsburgh next weekend for the Battle of Plattsburgh celebration. So we've got more to go. We did Rouse's Point. Sam did St. Mary's and Champlain. I did Shazy. So we've been around Morris Forks. Thanks for watching, and for those of you supporting Hometown Cable, viewer-supported local television TV worth your support.